And I pray as we go on in this journey, we will not be tired in Jesus' name. The theme for the week is soaring above limitation. But today, I'll be discussing with us on the topic I call breakthrough limitation. Breakthrough limitation. Breakthrough limitations. Are we together? Breakthrough limitations. Now, if you look at the journey of life, as an individual, there are a lot of things we want to attain. There are a lot of things that we are pursuing. But sometimes it looks as if it is difficult. It looks as if these things, we cannot attain them. It looks as if no matter how hard we try, we still cannot achieve them. You know, it is human for us to stay on that thing and ponder over it. Like, excuse me, how can I make this thing work for myself? But the other will try, and it's not working. There is tendency that we will give up. We want to stop doing it. Are we together? Limitation is like, it's an obstacle to attaining what we want to attain. Are we together? Limitation can be what? It can be self-caused. When I say self-caused, it can be something we brought to our own self. I will give you an instance. If you want to become an accountant in a company, you know what to do, right? Now, if you don't go through the necessary discipline, can you become an accountant? But there is a grant provided. You know that for you to become an accountant, you must go through this process. Now, if you decide not to go through that process and you still want to become an accountant, you have set what? A limitation for yourself. Because that thing you didn't attain will be what? Will be what will stop you from attaining what you want to attain. So, when we talk about breaking through limitation, it is for us to identify what are those things that are limiting us. What are those things that are stopping us from attaining what we want to attain? Are we together? Let me give us, there's an interesting story in the Bible. There's an interesting story in the Bible. Let's open our Bible to John 5. Let's open our Bible to John 5. If you are there, are we all there? John 5. I will read from verse 5. I'll read from verse 5. It's a story we are all familiar with. And I will ask us a question. Can I read, please? It says, there was a certain man that would have been ill for 38 years. When Jesus noticed him lying there, helpless, knowing that he had been in that condition a long time, he said to him, do you want to get well? The invalid answered, sir, I have no one to put me in the pool when the water is stirred up. While I'm coming to get into it by myself, someone else steps down ahead of me. Jesus said to him, get up, pick up your pallet and walk. Immediately, the man was healed and received his strength and picked up his pallet and walked. Now look at this. If you look at that story, the solution was in front of him. But his focus was where? In the pool. Do you understand now? He believes that if I get to the pool, I will be made what? Oh, Abi? But the solution was standing in front of him. And who was that solution? Jesus. Some of us are like that. Some of us are like what? Are like that. You know, there is this popular story I always tell people. As Christians, sometimes you'll be praying. God, okay, let's say you are praying for admission. God, I want admission. It is my year. Give me admission. Peradventure, somebody comes to you and asks you, I know somewhere in that university. Okay, bring your certificates. Let me go and give it to that person to assist you. Do you know that there is tendency that your focus will shift? It is no longer God help me. It is now who? Professor Bayo in engineering. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Sometimes we are what? We are the ones that bring what? Limitation to our own self. Through what? Our actions. Through what? Our deeds. Are we together? There is no limitation in the life of man that God cannot take away. There is no what? There is no limitation in the life of man that God cannot what? Take away. So what are we meant to do? We are meant to know or identify what are those factors that are limiting me. Don't dwell on them. Another reasons why most people cannot break through limitation is what? Word of mouth. What people will say. Are we together? What will people what? We say. Or let's say, some people will say, in my family, nobody has done this before. So because of that, you believe that even you yourself, you won't be able to do it. Let me use my own life as an example. You see, you must teach. It's like they're looking for teachers. Just come to my family. My father taught. My mother taught. My uncle taught. Like everybody, you must teach somewhere. You know, even me, I taught. I taught for 10 years. Do you understand? But I didn't teach in a school. But I taught. You know? But I had to ask certain questions. God, what is it? Virtually everybody, is either you go to private university or you go to college of education. If you are lucky, you go to polytechnic. I was following that line. You know, when my admission came, and I was just wondering, like, okay, at a stage I was already looking at polytechnic. Let me not lie, I was looking at polytechnic. But when the admission came, like, okay, I have to go to, you understand? We know the way it is. There are days that you feel like you want to leave school. You are tired. You are frustrated. You don't even know what you are doing again. But there was something I did. I held on to God. I held on to God. You see, I saw those things that I feel, these are the things that can make me know, they cannot make me progress. They cannot make me move ahead the way I want to. I had to let go. My friends were staying in hostel outside school. Me, I decided to stay where? In school hostel. Why? Because I know there are some waka that I will not do. Because for me to even leave school and say I'm going to town is a journey on its own. I cannot go through that stress. Do you understand? Nobody will come and meet me and say, let's go to this place. You know that I am where? In the hostel.